Hello Manchester United fans. 8 Man United stars fighting for their futures after André Onana's transfer decision. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim will have some big decisions to make ahead of the summer as the Red Devils attempt to overhaul their fortunes amid a failing Premier League season. Manchester United will head into this summer's transfer window knowing some change is needed. New boss Ruben Amorim will be handed his first true opportunity to shape his squad, having had a number of months to assess the players at his disposal during a difficult Premier League season. The Red Devils were limited in the work they could do in January due to profit and sustainability rules. Combined with the team performing to a substandard level, exits are sure to be high on the agenda as Amorim attempts to overhaul the club's performance. Already news has emerged that André Onana intends to snub an exit to the Saudi Pro League unless the Red Devils want to facilitate his exit. United's number 1 seems likely to be required to produce a confidence-building end to the season to allay any desire to cash in and replace him. The former Ajax and Inter stars backup Altay Bayındır may be even less secure. The last 6 months have seen no shortage of reports that the club were looking to strengthen their secondary option, and the Turkish ace has produced inconsistent performances. Harry Maguire earned himself another year at Old Trafford but could yet find himself used as a makeweight to bring in Everton's Jared Branthwaite. With just over a year on his contract, the 32-year-old may have to impress or face an exit. Time on the sidelines could leave Luke Shaw in a difficult position. Injuries have ensured that the fullback has been unable to make an impact in the last 12 months, and with the addition of Patrick Dorgu in January, his position is less secure than it once was. Likewise, Mason Mount's persistent injury issues will count against him. The midfielder is likely to offer Amorim a useful tool in his system, but his inability to stay fit could see him replaced come the summer. Toby Collier too could be impacted by new midfield additions. The youngster has already been impressive but may have to go one step further again if he wants to quickly establish himself in the Portuguese head coach's plans. It is perhaps United's failing forward line who will find their futures most at risk. United are already said to have drawn up a short list of goal-scoring talent, leaving the prospects of Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee in doubt in terms of minutes or their status at the club. While Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho have previously been said to be available at the correct price, the club's exits will not be dictated by financial issues. And Amorim is unlikely to want to see his best stars leave with replacements in the door. Co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has claimed transfers will be based on footballing merit. No, we won't be selling players because of the André Onana complicates Man Utd's ability to edge PSG for €30M rated impact signing. Paris Saint-Germain are facing uncertainty in goal, with Gianluigi Donnarumma's future still undecided. If the club moves on from the 25-year-old, they'll have to find a replacement in the transfer market. Donnarumma is under contract until 2026, but past mistakes have raised concerns, prompting PSG to explore long-term alternatives. However, his strong performance against Liverpool in the UEFA Champions League round of 16 helped his case. The club is focused on investing in young French talent, and this summer could be the right time to make a change. According to SportsZone, PSG are considering LOSC Lille's Lucas Chevalier as an option. Still, any move will likely depend on whether they can offload Donnarumma, who has yet to fully convince Luis Enrique. Could PSG be getting a transfer boost in the Lucas Chevalier race? The Sun reports that Manchester United are eyeing Sen Lammens from Royal Antwerp or Lucas Chevalier from Lille as André Onana looks set for a move to Saudi Arabia. United Muppeteers also reported that Manchester United are making a new goalkeeper a top priority, with Onana's departure looking more likely. However, Onana has other plans, as ESPN's Rob Dawson reports that the shot-stopper plans to stay at Manchester United even if he gets an offer from Saudi Arabia. The only way he'd consider leaving is if the club tells him he's not in their plans. Le Parisien previously reported that PSG are in a strong position to sign Chevalier despite heavy competition, largely thanks to sporting advisor Luis Campos. Campos was instrumental in helping the goalkeeper land his first professional contract at 16, and the two have stayed in touch ever since. Transfermarkt currently values Chevalier at €30 million. Manchester United are planning for 2 scenarios in this summer's transfer window. Man United need to rebuild their squad in this summer's transfer window, but the speed at which it is done could rest on their Europa League campaign. Currently languishing 13th in the Premier League table, Manchester United know they will have their work cut out just to achieve a top-half finish this season. 12 defeats in their opening 29 games looks set to see them record their lowest ever finish in the Premier League era. United recorded their lowest finish since the birth of the Premier League as recently as last season, finishing 8th. Despite an upturn in results and performances prior to the international break, United still find themselves 7 points shy of 10th-placed Bournemouth. It would be impressive if they were to finish above the Cherries. As a result of United being increasingly likely to finish in the bottom half, immense pressure is resting on their Europa League campaign. Ruben Amorim's side progressed to the quarterfinals earlier this month with a 5-2 aggregate victory over Real Sociedad. United will resume their European campaign against Lyon in a fortnight's time with the knowledge that winning the Europa League is their only hope of salvaging something from what has otherwise been a forgettable campaign. Winning the competition will see them clinch a third trophy in as many seasons and, perhaps more importantly, secure a route back into the Champions League. Champions League qualification for the following season is arguably the biggest attraction of winning the Europa League, and United need that added bonus more than ever before. The club's financial situation means they are going to have to box very clever with their recruitment in what will be Amorim's first summer transfer window at the helm. It is a far from ideal situation for what promises to be such a pivotal summer. As reported by the Manchester Evening News on Monday, player exits could once again reach double figures this summer, meaning more replacements will be required. United will have long since drawn up a list of priorities for the summer ahead. But with the club currently in limbo in relation to whether they will be participating in Europe next season or not, it will have some sort of impact on their hopes of laying foundations for the summer early, particularly if United reach the Europa League final towards the end of May. However, just as every football club should, United are planning for all eventualities, with Chief Executive Omar Barada confirming earlier this month that plans for each scenario are being put in place. There's no doubt that if we qualify to the Champions League, we will have more revenues and we'll have more capacity to invest in the team, Barada explained. But we are putting in place various financial measures to allow us to go and invest at the summer, even if we are outside of Europe. Mismanagement is something United. Man United receive huge £12 million Antony payout warning. I will accept the transfer. Man United may have to pay Antony millions to leave, with ex-keeper Ben Foster warning the Brazilian won't take a pay cut to exit Old Trafford. Manchester United should be ready for Antony to ask for a multi-million-pound payout if they want to get rid of the Brazilian, according to former Old Trafford goalkeeper Ben Foster. The Brazilian winger is currently on loan with Real Betis, where he seems to be enjoying his football more than he did in England. Across 14 games for United this season, he only managed 1 goal, but in Spain he has bagged 4 goals and as many assists in 11 games. Both parties' future plans with Antony intertwine. United are looking to offload the Brazilian, whereas Real Betis have been impressed enough with the 25-year-old's performances that they're keen on keeping him, however may only be on an extended loan agreement. Although Antony is not part of Ruben Amorim's plans as things stand, United are still contributing to his wages. Former Red Foster believes that if the club want to get rid of Antony for good, it could cost them big time. He said on the Fozcast podcast, with Antony, the rumors are that he's on around £200,000 a week, and there's not many teams in world football that can sign him. Antony has 2 or 3 years left on his deal at Man United and isn't going to want to take a pay cut by signing for one of these teams on £100,000 a week. I don't care how much money you're on. If somebody says your wages are going to get cut by 50% next year, then it hurts. What will most probably happen is if somebody like Real Betis did sign him, Antony will say to Manchester United, I will accept the transfer to Real Betis. However, I've still got 2 or 3 years left on my contract, which is worth £20 million or £30 million. He will then say, what you guys need to do is pay me 40% of that. It stinks when you've invested so much money into a player and he's produced absolutely zero for Manchester United. They've sent him out on loan and then all of a sudden he starts performing. Using Foster's theory, Antony could request a payout of up to £12 million. United would not be keen to sanction such a deal, but they know that they won't be able to recover anywhere near the £86 million they spent bringing the Brazilian to Manchester from Ajax.